Hi, welcome to this week's YouTube video. My name's Caroline if you've never watched my channel before. In this video I'm doing a drawing challenge where I'm only using green supplies. I just thought this would be fun. In the past I've done a lot of tonal work with kind of grayscale graphite drawings, especially when I was in school. But since then I've loved using colour, so I thought it'd be fun to try and incorporate those old skills into just colour work. And I've never really done much trying to just draw with one colour and utilise its tones loads. I feel like it's a bit more challenging trying to work tonally with one colour, so I'm intrigued with how this will go. But yeah, I'm keeping everything random. I'm gonna come up with what I'm going to draw randomly as well, use like a random word generator, and yeah, so let's just get into this video, shall we? So I've collected all my green supplies together. I've mainly got coloured pencils, some felt tips, these are metallic markers, acrylic paint, some oil pastels, paint pens, some ink, washi tape, squash. I've even got some of this ribbon that maybe I can incorporate, add a little 3D element to the piece. I'll also be using a few of my watercolour pans, but can't really get them out of this case. But yeah, this is all the green supplies I own, so I'm excited to see what I can come up trying to use most of them together. I thought I'd come on and kind of explain my whole process for this illustration. So I really wanted to be very kind of random with this piece and push myself as far as possible, really. So to do that, once I decided green was the colour I was going to challenge myself with, I didn't want to come up with ideas using kind of items and words that I associate with green. So I decided to use a random word generator. Came up with about probably 10 to 15, and then I all put them all in a spinner and then just picked 3 to base the illustration off. I did something similar a little while ago where I did the kind of 3 random word challenge, so if you'd like to see that, I'll have that link down below. It was quite a fun one, and I came up with a cute little kind of fairy tale-esque story for it. So yeah, I think 3 is a good kind of number. It's not too many ideas that you've kind of overwhelmed with like where to start, but it's enough to make the piece quite interesting and to kind of spark ideas for you. So yeah, the 3 words I ended up with was worm, harvest and twin. I decided to thumbnail my kind of composition ideas first in my sketchbook. I like to do this just because it's a good practice, really, and sometimes the first idea you come up with isn't your best idea, and it's also very useful when you're in an art block. You can always come back to the old ideas and kind of like revisit it and have a go, so I like that aspect of it. I've only really done it since kind of starting uni and leaving uni, thumbnailing. I was really bad in school before that to do that, and I'd just go with my first idea and make up some random thumbnails after I got the idea, just for like coursework kind of proof. But no, I do think it's an important step of the process, so I try to do about 3 to 4 ideas minimum. Sometimes I'll go crazy and just do loads, but yeah, 3 to 4's a good starting point. So first idea I came up with was to have 2 twin worms, who are these farmers. They're kind of dressed up in like the denim dungarees. They've got a cute straw hat on, and it's based kind of very heavily based off the painting of the farmers couple who's got like, they hold like pitchforks in the painting. I'm not sure of the name, so I will insert a clip of that painting, and then in front of the worms I'd have a basket full of all the food they've harvested. My next idea was to kind of have a pumpkin field, so it's like pumpkin harvest. I don't know if we really do it here in the UK, but I know it's quite big in America to have big fields of pumpkins grown for the Halloween season. And the main focus of the piece would be this one pumpkin that's carved to look like a jack-o'-lantern, and then have 2 twin worms coming out of the different holes that have been carved. Just thought this was kind of a fun idea in a way, just the thought of like the worm wriggling inside something that's already carved. It's a bit creepy in some sense, but could be seen kind of cute in another, the way I've drawn it anyway, the kind of style I've used. My next idea, it's a bit of a stretch with the twin idea, so I've kind of thought of having like an apple harvest scenes, so like the harvesting apples, and then there's 2 apples in the foreground that are like twins. One's fully eaten and the other one's not, it's like a full apple, but the worm's coming out of it and it's starting to eat it, just to show the difference in the apples and the worm eating them, basically. And then my final idea, it's not the strongest one either, but it's basically a split illustration where one side is the beginning of harvest, so it's where the plants are just kind of starting to sprout and so there's some small leaves, and then the other half's like full harvest and it's ready to all be cut down and like processed. And then there's just a worm in the middle, kind of showing the comparison of how it feels at the beginning of harvest. So it sags, there's not much to eat, and then when it's full harvest, it being really happy because there's loads to eat. Again, there's a bit stretched for the twin idea, kind of just thought comparing, just having the 2 situations. But yeah, in the end I decided to go with the pumpkin idea. I also really like the farm idea, but I thought it had a lot going on, and because I've not really done this in a long time anyway, I've done like small attempts of little sketches in just one colour, but not a full-on illustration. I wanted to keep it more simple, and so when you break down the pumpkin illustration, in total there's 4 different tones that I need to keep separate so each element will stand out. So those 4 are the actual grass itself, the surrounding pumpkins, the main pumpkin, and then the worms. Whereas if I look at the farmer's one, it's just a bit more complicated and I feel like you need a bit more tone variation than that. So I thought I'd stick with the pumpkin idea, and I'm glad I did. I really like how it turned out in the end, and I probably will end up revisiting the kind of farmer's one because I think that's quite a fun idea as well, but I might just do that in full colour. And so what I did to kind of draw out the idea properly was take a picture of my thumbnail, put it onto my iPad in Procreate specifically, and then I refined the sketch by drawing on top of it. And then I always print out my sketches, and then I got my nice paper I like to use, especially for mixed media, because I knew I'm using a lot of different supplies here. And so it's a watercolour smooth press paper from Cassart. I think it's 300 GSM, I think, and I like it because you can get quite a good amount for a decently affordable price. So I used my light box to transfer that sketch onto the nice paper, and then with my sketches I also lighten them with my kneaded eraser, just so you don't really see the lines when I actually start painting and drawing on top. And yeah, so I tried to use every single material that I picked out, not necessarily every colour green I got of that material, but I tried to use at least one of every material I picked out. I've just got the illustration here in front of me to kind of guide me on all the materials I use, because there was quite a lot. I don't think I've used as many kind of mediums in one piece before, so it was really fun to just kind of experiment, and I didn't even do any tests or anything with this part. I just wanted to like purely just go with the creative flow and see what I could come up with, and kind of explore how different materials layer on top of each other. So for the piece I decided to start off with like a light wash, so I used kind of a mixture of inks and watercolours as a base, and then I started using the more opaque colours on top that could be layered a lot, so like gouache, my felt tips, oil pastels, and then also I include a bit of washi tape. So I think I'll try and list off all the materials I used in total. So there was my inks, there's my watercolours, acrylic paint, coloured pencils, oil pastels, metallic markers, normal felt tips, highlighter, washi tape, ribbon. I think that was everything. So yeah, I started off with the base colours, then I thought it'd be fun to use the kind of like tip of the dropper I have for my ink. Like I have the kind of inks where it comes with a dropper in the lid, and then you just kind of squeeze it to release the ink. So I thought it'd be fun to just dip it in the ink itself and then kind of draw scratchy lines to create the grass. And I really liked how that looked, like the texture of it and kind of the randomness and this, it's very scribbly kind of effect, which I really liked. But I did find the colour was quite deep, especially for the starting off layer, so I did go and kind of damp lighten it kind of with a tissue, and then I could always come back and darken it. And after that I thought I'd tackle the pumpkin mainly first, just to get the main focus point kind of sorted out, and once I was happy with it enough, then I went back to the grass. And I definitely layered a lot for the grass, and it's one of those where sometimes you can do a bit too much and overwork things, but I think the grass needed the overworking, so I've used so many marks and dots and squiggles of different kind of tones of green and kind of materials. It kind of just creates a nice effect in the end, and I really like how it's come out. And so yeah, with the pumpkins I chose to go with kind of a cooler green. The main one's quite a light green, and it reminds me a bit of the white pumpkins you can get. So that was what I had in my head when I was going for the pumpkins. And then I kept the worms a very bright green, they're on the yellower side, and then the grass is in the middle. And I used a bit of my neon green paint in the grass, which I think really makes a difference of making it stand out, and just another fun little element. Main thing that I kind of tested out that I've not really incorporated in my pieces before is the washi tape. I thought it'd be fun to use, as I've seen a lot of videos of people using it for like outfits of characters, like utilising the patterns you can get. So I thought it'd be fun to do that, but I decided to use it on the worms because I drew them like stripy. So I picked this design that's got like some little stars on it, and then I also utilised a different one that had flowers on and kind of cut round the flowers to put in the background, and then I kind of drew on top of them a bit just to blend them into the grass so they look more natural and just not stuck on there. And then finally I decided it'd be fun to add a kind of 3D element, so I had some green ribbon and decided I'd make some cute little bow ties for the two worms. I did put them on at first with the natural colour that the ribbon already was, but it was far too light and didn't stand out, so I ended up colouring over it with a felt tip pen to really darken it up. And yeah, I just think that's a cute little additional element. And the washi tapes I used also have some kind of gold detail in it on them, which I find fun, like foiled little elements. And to tie that in, I also used a green metallic pen I had on the worm as well, for just like a spotted pattern in the other stripes that aren't filled with the washi tape design. But looking closely at the piece, I'm not sure if I can tell fully if it's green and whether it just looks a bit gold mainly. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with this piece, and this is the final reveal of it. It was definitely a very hard challenge for me. I'm not used to kind of trying to think of just using one colour. I really love colour, so I love using loads, and it was kind of nice going back to my roots at the same time, because I started off doing tone at work, but that was all in grayscale, so it's a bit more fun, this one, because it is in a bright colour. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this has turned out, and I'll definitely do another drawing challenge like this. If there's any challenges in particular you want me to try out, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely trying to look for more ideas this year and trying to utilise my sketchbook more. And yeah, so I'll have everything linked in the comments below if you want to see more of my work, such as my website, Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, basically thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!